All right. So some of the questions that we get on the ACT and the SAT requires you to not memorize, but also have a very good understanding of what it means to have what it means, what exactly they referring to when they ask you this question. And this question is one of the questions that we have on the ACT. It's about an x-intercept. There's also y-intercept too. So what is it that we mean when we say we have an x-intercept? So this is exactly what we're going to do in this question. We're going to calculate the x-intercept. So and the question says, what is the x-intercept of the graph of y minus 3 is equal to 5 times x minus 2. So we just need to find the x-intercept. All right, let's go on another page and see if we can solve for this. So we already have the equation here. Y minus 3 is equal to 5 x minus 2. Let me explain a little bit about the x-intercept. Think about if we have a graph here. Let me change the color. If we have a Cartesian graph, and then if we have a line or a curve that passes through that graph, let's do that line in red. Let's say the line passes through the graph and cut it right here. Oh, nope, that's not what I want to do. It cut it right here. So the x-intercept would be the point where, this is the x-axis and this is the y-axis. The x-intercept would be the point where the graph cuts the x-axis, and the y-intercept at the same token is the point where the graph cuts the y-axis. So in here, the point where the graph cuts the x-axis is this point right here. So what happened when the graph cuts the x-axis? When the graph cuts the x-axis, the value of y is equal to 0. So that's going to be key in answering this question. When a graph cuts the x-axis, the value of y is equal to 0. So now the value of y is equal to 0 when the point cut the x-axis. So we have y is equal to 0. So that's what we're gonna use here in this equation. As you can see here, y is equal to 0. X has a value. It could be here, 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 here. The graph could cut it anywhere here, but the value of y in that case, when the x-intercept, the value of y is gonna be equal to 0. So now let me erase this for a little bit. So this was for explanation purposes only. So what we have to retain in this case is the value of y is equal to 0. That means y right here, this y is equal to 0. Okay? So that's all we have to do. We're going to replace y by 0, and then we're going to write the equation as it was, exactly as it was. So we replace y by 0 minus 3 is equal to 5 x minus 2. Okay, so we already know y is equal to 0, so we have negative 3 is equal to 5 x minus 2. All right, so what else we're going to do? We're going to distribute, and then we're going to calculate this thing. So negative 3, 5 times x is 5x. 5 times negative 2 is negative 10. All right, so we're going to move everything that has x on one side, everything that doesn't have x on the other side. So 5x. We had the negative 3 here on this side. It's going to stay how it was. And the 10 here is going to move from this side of the equation to the other side of the equation. So negative 10 words right here is going to become positive 10. 10 minus 3 is 7. Is equal to 5x. That implies x is equal to, what is that? 7 over 5. That's it. This is it. Okay, so what did we do? How did we get there to x is equal to 7 over 5? How did we get there? So what did we do? First of all, we notice, we say, hey, these folks, they really ask us for the y-intercept. What does it mean to have a y-intercept? So for a y-intercept, to have a y-intercept, so what does that really mean? It means that to have an x-intercept, it means that y is equal to 0. So we replace y by 0. We go on the other page. Let's go on this page. We replace y by 0. And after we replace y by 0, we continue, and then we calculate what the value of x is going to be equal to. And then we find x is equal to 7 over 5. And this is it. If you enjoyed this video, please share it on your page. You help a lot of kids taking the ACT and the SAT. Again, this is your host, Romel, with the Jax Tutor. Thank you very much for your time. Bye-bye.